It feels like the 10.0 update for Splatoon 3 just came out, yet here we are with 11.0 on the way. Hey everyone, Sick Andre here, so I apologize if I sound a bit odd during this video, with some new details on Splatoon 3, along with some comments from Nintendo's president, which are a little interesting as it concerns the impact of RAM prices on, Switch products or Nintendo products in general, what they're doing with movies, and all kinds of things. We'll get to that in a moment here. For now, let's talk about the 11.0 update just announced coming to Splatoon 3 on January 29th, which will include the typical balance updates, but also new features added to battles. Stay tuned for more deets. Look at Nintendo being all hip out here. They continue there will be no weapon kits included in this update. So yeah, we don't know much, but there are some new battle features coming, which sounds interesting potentially, so I'm curious to see what those are, and we'll find out more about that soon. I mean, it has to be because it's coming on January 29th, it's just a few weeks away at this point. The year's already going by way too quick. What's that about? In any case, we'll be there covering it all, including any updates in the meantime. So let's move on to the interview that Nintendo's president had with the Kyoto Shimbun, in which he touched on some hot topic issues regarding Nintendo. So this list of bullet points comes to us by way of Nintendo Patents Watch, but I'm going to be using the Go Nintendo consolidated version of that, in which he touches on topics like the Switch 2 supply stream, in which he says it has been stabilized worldwide, except for Japan, which needs a little bit more time, but they have done a very good job of keeping Switch 2 stocked in territories that had high demand, obviously, which is pretty much every territory. He did go on more to comment, though, on how they've been keeping an eye on RAM prices. You may have heard that Gen AI is causing the prices of RAM to skyrocket, and Nintendo's been keeping a close eye on the market, but because they operate on a medium to long-term contract basis, there's no immediate impact in the future. Not to say it can't happen. In fact, he was actually asked if the prices of Nintendo products, including Switch 2, could increase in the future, and he gives a very PR-savvy answer saying, I cannot comment on the hypotheticals, which basically means, yes, it can, but we're not committing one way or the other at this point. So just keep in mind that, the price could fluctuate in the future, but for right now, there are no immediate plans. So, which is a good thing, but yeah, could happen at some point. He also goes on to talk about to how they'll enhance their software offerings from 2026 onwards, which is, pretty typical, but makes me wonder what else they haven't announced yet for 2026, because I need more. And that they're developing a popular series titles that many fans are waiting for, but also completely new software, which is, that's basically always the case. But, I want to know what that new software is, too. Furthermore, he comments on Nintendo's, expansion in the movies, in which they want to build excitement leading up to the Mario Galaxy movie, so hopefully we'll get more news on that soon as well, and that they'll be sharing news on the Legend of Zelda film gradually. Now, with that still coming, well, next year at this point, so not all that far away, but this also makes me think that we may not be getting a whole lot of this until, we're a bit closer to release. So we're still, what, a year and a half out? Especially with Mario Galaxy around the corner, they probably want to focus more on that in the short term. He also goes on to reiterate that they're primarily using movies not for short-term profits, like not to make money so much as it is for character exposure. Their goal with these things is to bring in new fans so that they then consume Nintendo products elsewhere. Whether it's video games or going to Super Nintendo World or whatever it is, and that makes a lot of sense. Like, their bread and butter is still video games, and it makes sense to use their IP to expand in other ways to bring in new fans. And as part of that, they want to release more films beyond Mario and Zelda, which is awesome. And they go on to comment that an anime is possible, but specifically saying if we can create works uniquely Nintendo, it will be good in the future. Though I do want to specify that in a longer comment I saw over on a Video Games Chronicle version of this quote, he really undersells it too, at the same time being like, that sound something to the effect of that would be complicated, and that it sounds like there's no immediate plan for an anime. Just that it's possible, as stated here. Also, in that version of the article, which I'll also link in the description below, or of the interview, he also went in to comment that that's why they bought Nintendo Pictures, or the company that became Nintendo Pictures, while making the Mario movie, because they realized, hey, we can make more shorter videos to cater to different audiences, and that's exactly what they're doing with the Pikmin Close to Me shorts, and we'll probably see more things like that soon too, which has me interested. I thought those were pretty cool shorts, and I would love to see more, especially if they can touch on other IP that movies may not, that they couldn't justify with the movie. Whew. In any case, everyone, there you go. That's all the main comments that I could take out from the interview, or that, Go Nintendo and Nintendo Patents Watch picked out. So with that, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more as we hear more about any of this stuff, including the Splatoon 3 update coming out soon. With that, we'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.